Welcome to Fridays at 5, everybody. I'm Karen Taylor. We're going to warm up with the color vowel chart. Pretty simple stuff, but we'll use phrases today, and we'll start up at green. You know I'm going to sweep down this way, and if you're not sure what to say, just follow me. Ready? It's me. It's me. Green tea. It's me. It's simple. It's simple. Silver pin. It's simple. That's great. That's great. Gray day. That's great. You're the best. You're the best. Red pepper. You're the best. That's a fact. That's a fact. Black cat. That's a fact. I'm doing this all from memory today, and let's think for just a minute. What would be a nice olive phrase? Any ideas?
You're the bomb.
You're the bomb. You're the bomb. Olive sock. You're the bomb. That's awesome. That's awesome. Auburn dog. That's awesome. Don't be so noisy. Don't be so noisy. Turquoise toy. Don't be so noisy. How about orange? Of course. Of course. Orange door. Of course. Rose. Just one idea. Shirley.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Rose boat. Who knows? That's good. That's good. Wooden hook. That's good. It's for you. It's for you. Blue moon. It's for you. Cup of mustard. I'm watching the chat too. Huh?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? A cup of mustard, what's up? For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Purple shirt, for sure. Notice, I think for my dialect, I'm blue for that, but I thought of purple. So we could use either one. Great. How about brown? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? That's right. That's right. White tie. That's right. So, you can have a lot of fun with this. You can just kind of write up your own common phrases or words that are particular to the unit you're covering, different ways to warm up with the chart. But the key is we always come to the chart because when else do students have time and the kind of guidance to explore the vowel sounds of English, right? So that's all. Hey, I want to welcome you again. Today's topic is Quizlet. Meaning every Friday we come together and try to touch on some kind of tool that can solve problems and make teaching more interesting and more engaging for our students. So we have, and have the pleasure to have Liz Bigler in the room. She's color vowel trained and she does fabulous work online. And so she's been doing some fun stuff with Quizlet beyond flashcards. And so in that fashion, I'm going to hand it over to you, Liz.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I just, so you know, I teach all different manner of people from different backgrounds and different levels. And right now in COVID crazy town, I am teaching Chinese children in China, and then various level of private students, and also some pretty high level accent reduction courses and an idioms course. So I'm going to show you how I have learned how to use Quizlet to do different things in my classroom. And when I was prepared, usually these Friday at 5s are pretty casual and they're just a few people. But when Karen told me how many people were signed up, I was like, oh, I guess I better really prepare for this. So I kind of did. So I'm going to share my screen. And I cannot see anybody anymore. So thank you to Jennifer and Karen for kind of handling the chat or whatever.
Sure.
But, okay, so I have been using Quizlet for interactive online activities. Okay. Now, here are the popular Quizlet uses that I do not use. They have a lot of pre-made sets there that you can get, that other teachers have made or other students have made. Students can create and use their own flashcards.
Hey, Liz, one second. Sorry, I'm not sure that we can see your screen.
Oh, really?
Liz, yeah, Lynn, you're nodding that you don't. I don't. It's black. So just try resharing. Sorry for interrupting like
Can you
that.
see it now?
Nope, it just says Liz Bigler has started screen sharing.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay,
Why?
you know, this is what we're here for. We're all here to have the gremlins step in at the right moment. There you go. We see you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Well done. Uh-huh.
Thank you for not letting me go through the whole presentation and
Sure.
assuming that you can see it. Okay, so like I said, there's pre-made sets. Students can create and use their own. Students can share with each other. Teachers can share with each other. Quizlet Live, everybody loves Quizlet Live because they can play these flashcard games all together as a class. And they have a way to do that online now. I don't use that because most of my students in China, or all of my students in China, cannot access Quizlet. And so the only way that they can experience it is through my screen share, which means that doesn't really help. Other uses are people can make their own flashcards and print them if for some strange reason they would want to have pieces of paper instead of on their phone. They can use it with their own phone app. So basically what it's really known for and what it's mostly used for is vocabulary practice. Okay, what I use it for is I use it for grammar, I use pronunciation, stress patterns, and even vocabulary sometimes. So I'm going to try to show you, I hope to get in about 8 different kinds of activities that I use it, and they're all different levels of students and different topics that we're studying. Okay, the things that I love about it are the match game. You can make 2 sides of your, quote unquote flashcard and have students say how to match it. And that game is timed so that I can make students compete against each other. Like, can you beat that person's time? It's random. Like if you do it if you play that game, you can tell it you want it to be in a random order the next time so that it keeps it fresh. And then micromatch, I'll show you in a minute. It's pretty easy to customize sets, which means if you make a set of cards, you can make a copy of it and then make changes. So like I use the color vowel words to match with vocabulary. Then if I'm using a different set of vocabulary, I can still use the same set and customize it, basically make a copy of it and then change the copy. Shuffle. I think that's making the cards themselves random. Photos. Okay, so you can use photos for one side of your Quizlet cards, but you have to have the Quizlet teacher, which is a paid subscription. But the good news is, there's 2 good newses about it. One is that it's only $3 a month, which for me is totally worth it. And right now, it's not even that much because they're offering Quizlet teacher for free to anybody who's a teacher, or even anybody who says they're a teacher, through the end of June. And then once you have those cards, I'm pretty sure you can keep them even if they have images on them. You just can't make new cards with images unless you have the thing. Okay, and then the other thing I like about it is you can prompt with either side. So if I have photos on one side and words on the other, for pre-literate learners, I can use the pictures and not even use the words. But for people who I'm trying to get to learn how to read the words, I can use the other side. Okay. The other thing I like about it is it has photos that you can use, translations. So when I was teaching Japanese students, I could even get Japanese translations, which were right there. I didn't have to look anything up. It was right there in Japanese, in the Japanese language, and I could even use voice to have the little robot person say the word in Japanese or in English. So there's a lot that I haven't even taken advantage of yet. It's pretty easy to find your way around, and you can share all of your sets with one click to Google Classroom. So I don't know how many people here are using Google Classroom, and I can't see you anymore. So, but if you do use Google Classroom, it's really easy to share with your students there, or to just keep it there for yourself. Like I said, you can just use one side of the cards. For sight words, you don't even have to use the flashcard feature. They can just be like a slideshow, basically. And then it's easy to organize your sets in folders. So I'm going to show you all this in a second, but this is just my overview. Things I don't love about Quizlet: you can't change the fonts. It's one set font, which is pretty tiny. You can, I have figured out, you can make the words bold or underlined, which helps a little bit, but you can't make it a bigger font or a different font. So that means, number two, there's lots of wasted space on each card. And especially now that we're trying to be considerate and, you know, thoughtful and mindful of students' you know, how much time they have to spend looking closely at screens. I wish that that wasn't the case. Okay, number three, if you try to find pre-made sets, most of them are not about ESL. Quizlet seems to be really popular with people who are studying science and anatomy and stuff like that. So there's a lot of techie kind of, you know, STEM things there. There aren't a whole lot of pre-made sets. And the ones that I have found, maybe I'm just a perfectionist, but I don't think I've ever found a set that could be used as is. But like I said, you can customize it, make your corrections or your changes, and then use. So the thing I don't love is there's lots of features, but it's hard to find them. So you really have to kind of know what you're looking for or mine around, which is what I've done. And that's why I'm happy to be sharing with you. Quizlet Teacher, like I said, is free through the end of June. It has the audio, it has class progress is the other feature of Quizlet Teacher. You can keep track of if your students are doing these on their own. But like I said, I don't use it in that way. Okay, so let me share a different screen with you now, and I'll show you what I have been up to. Are there any questions so far? Let's see. Okay,
yeah.
So here,
oh,
yeah, go ahead now.
Okay, and actually I use Quizlet a lot and to my students, and they love it, and all of them said it's easy to memorize words and visually, and they love match game.
The match game, yeah.
Yes, like they said.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a picture book. So we're starting at a very low level. Students, these guys that I'm teaching in China, this particular class is not even literate. They don't even necessarily know names of animals and stuff yet. So I took this book, which is the old folk song, I Had a Rooster by Pete Seeger, and I literally took photos with my camera of these images because I wanted the students to learn these words before we learned the song. So I took those images and I made a set of flashcards with them. So you can make it, once you have your flashcards, how do I make these pictures go away? See down here where it says options, it's all very hard to, it's all very tiny, which is why I was complaining about that before. You can answer with the English or with the photos or both. I'm going to answer with the English, which means it will show the photos. So to start off, I just said, you know, I just taught these. What is this, everybody? It's a tree. Yeah, tree. Okay. What's this? Rooster. What is this? Cat. What is this? It's a duck. So I just taught the images like that, and I didn't even bother with the words. But if they were, if literacy was something I wanted to include in it, then I would hit my space bar. Oops, I have the voice turned on. You can turn the voice on or off. I'm going to turn it off. So then I would go through and say, okay, what is that now, everybody? Yeah, it's a rooster. So I can show the image and have them guess the word. Or I can go down here to options again and have it do the other way, show them the word and have them try to read it. And then they get the confirmation. Yes, that's a duck. What is this? Cow. Yes, it's a cow. And at some point, I'm going to have people turn on their mics so that you can be my students. Actually,
it's a cow. It's a cow. It's a cow. It's a pig.
It's a pig, yeah.
It's a pig.
Okay. So now I want to show you how I use the match game that Now was just talking about. So let's pretend that it's Robin's turn, or let's say that Robin has a team, and we're going to start the
Go
game.
team.
So Robin, I'm going to show you the picture, and you tell me what it is. And see how tiny they are? See, this
Oh,
is
they
a
are tiny. Yes.
peeve of mine, because that all that empty space is just nothing. So I show her
Okay.
this one.
Oh, rooster. It's a rooster. It's a
So now,
moon rooster.
right. So now I don't care if she can read this or not, because she's a very low level student. So I'm going to move it over here. Yes, that's right.
Yay.
What is this?
It's a tree. It's a green tea tree.
But they can see the words here and take their cues from them. Or I can say, if she's a higher level student.
It's a dog. It's a dog. Uh-oh.
Okay, dog. So let's try. Wait.
I don't have a dog. It's a duck. It's a duck. It's a cup of mustard duck.
Mm-hmm. So like this. Pig. What is this word, Robin?
It's a cow.
Okay, that's a brown word. Brown.
Oh, it's a brown cow. Cow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then this is
I can't find the cat.
What is this word?
It's a cat.
While you're about to drag it, I'm curious. Could you do an enlarged screen during this kind of a video broadcast session to make everything bigger just because the screen is bigger?
Well, I think. Oh yeah, it does kind of bring them all back in. Yay! I learned something.
Oh, but
what Karen was saying. Yeah.
But do you lose things off the bottom? Are there things that we can't see? Oh,
no,
that's
I
good.
saw they pop back up, and it only shows you 6 at a time. So if you have a set of 20 cards, it's going to show you 6, and then see, this is the next round. It has a few repeated, and then it has a couple of new ones there.
Could you scrunch them all into the area so you could see them all at once before you enlarged it? Can you drag them all in so that they're not off in the corners with the wasted space?
Yeah, you can do that. You can, and sometimes I'll do that. I'll line up the words here on the left side, for example. Oops. And see, if you try to make a match with something that doesn't, it won't let you. It turns red and pops off. Do you see that? But yeah, you can do it this way. You can line them all up and then line the other words or pictures here. Yeah. And you can also, with Zoom, you can let students draw lines. So you can have them do like a matching game where they draw lines to them. So I want to show you. So a lot of times I'll do that just to have them practice, just that one is sort of basic vocabulary. But there's other ways that you can use, and I'll just show you this with the same set. That was flashcards and match. You can also do learn with the same set. So learn is basically, you can have it, see down here at options, you can have it be the exact answer or one. Okay, that doesn't matter. So then this one is a little easier. I just say, which one is it? Or this one requires writing. Is it number 1, 2, or 3, or 4? So does anybody want to play?
I had my turn.
Anybody else want to play?
I like it. Now, I like the idea that we could all hold up fingers, right? You could look at the whole class.
Yeah, but yeah, that is true. I do that, but right now, because there's so many people, I can't see. I want to look at my screen. So anyway,
it's 3.
3. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
3.
What about this one?
4.
4. What about this one?
4.
So in this case, I'm actually asking them to read.
Can you click on a wrong one for us?
Yes, that's a great question. So if I said this was duck, it says study this one, and then watch, it will pop up again soon. This one is cat, this one is cow, and this one, now it kind of mixes it up. This one I have to type. So I can either ask my students, how do you spell this? or I can just accept if they say sheep, I can spell it for them. Okay. And duck. Oh, I guess, where's the lion? I thought the lion would come back up soon. Baby.
That was it.
There he is.
Liz, I'm sure people are wondering, where are you finding your beautiful images?
Oh, well, like I said, I just took pictures of this book here.
Okay, well, that's a good way.
But if I wanted to add some images to this, okay, so here's what it looks like from inside if you want to make changes to it. They're all listed here. Here's my one side and the other side, one side and the other side. Let's say that I wanted to add a couple more animals, and I do not have the images for them. I'm going to add a card here, and I'm going to say elephant. Okay. I can come over here and click on image. See that? And then I can either upload my own image or I can search for an image. If I say search for an image, look, it has these. I can choose any of these. I don't even have to go to, you know, the internet. I can just go, yeah, that's an elephant. I'll use that one. And boom, it's done. I love it. Okay, so let me show you one other way to use this basic set, and then I'm going to show you some other ways that I use it. Okay, done. And please feel free to ask questions because I'm sure there's things. Okay, so that was learn. Then write is all about like learning how to spell words and spell them. I don't really use those too much. The test is a combination of type the answer, matching, multiple choice, and true and false. Am I going too fast through these? Okay.
No, I think that's great.
Okay. So yeah. An option though, like I have a student in China who wanted a PDF of the matching. So you can take out the other kinds. Like for that, for example, I just wanted to show her the matching. So all 10 of the questions are going to be matching. How do I save this? Create new test. And there is a matching test with all 10 words and then their images there. And then I can print the test here. I can print it as a PDF or I can print it out. What else do I want to show? And you can star cards, like if your class is getting, you know, they're always getting, you know, half of them right and the other half wrong, you can star the questions that they're getting wrong, and then you can just do those.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so now I want to show you a grammar related exercise and then how I made that into a pronunciation exercise. So if you're new to this group, you will know that the color vowel, we kind of like to embed pronunciation exercises into everything. It doesn't have to be like a pronunciation class, and nobody's too young to learn, you know, how to say things the right way. So we use these colors and put them into all of our work to start them on that journey before they get too, you know, set in their ways. Okay, so here's past tense verbs. These are words that were taken out of a story about this dog called Floppy. That's why it's called Floppy. So I can just do it, you know, the conventional way. What's the past tense of is, was? Yes. Why does this voice keep turning on? I'm going to turn off the voice.
We can't hear it, just so you know, Liz.
Oh, okay. Also, it's very light here, but you can see shuffle. So you can make them play in the same order. Like those words, the animals that we just did, they happen in that order in the song. I had a rooster and the rooster pleased me. So I wanted them to, be able to see it in order, but normally it's good to have some variety. So you can just click shuffle and then it'll have them in all different. So take, took, have, had, go, went. Boring, right? But yeah. But useful, you know, like I a believer in drills. I still do drills even with kids. But another way you could do it is you could do match. You could do match. That's also pretty easy, right? Like I could line all the past tense verbs up here and the present tense verbs here and have them race against each other, okay? Let's see, okay. Have, right? So what's past tense verb of have, everybody? Had.
Had.
It's pretty easy, right? Take, took.
Took.
It's easy if you already know it.
Yeah, right. Well, it's pretty
Want,
uninventive.
went.
I
No,
guess.
wait a minute.
Did you see what I just did? Want and went.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love it because it won't
Yeah.
let you. It won't let you do the wrong answer. It makes you do the right one.
Yeah.
Okay. Go, went, seesaw. Okay.
Liz,
now,
what I do in my classes with the match game, and they loved it, was this is something I'm going to, when am I doing the Zoom thing? Is that a couple weeks from now? When I do the Zoom thing, I'll have you all try it. But I give over control to different students, and then all the other students have to shout out what the word is to match, and that way I get them all talking, which is great.
right. Yeah, I was gonna say when you do match, you can do with Zoom. You can give control to other people, so students could do it on their own. But it doesn't. I don't want to do that with 7-year-olds because. But if I'm controlling it, it's kind of better in a way because then they have to tell me what they want me to do. They have to talk to me. Okay. Oops. Screen sharing failed to start. Okay. So here is the gravity game. This is the other gravity game. The words come down, run. Somebody tell me what the past tense is.
N.
How do you spell it?
R-A-N.
R-A-N. Whew, we got it in time. What's past tense of see?
Saw. S-A-W.
Phew. What's past tense of is? Hurry, hurry, hurry.
R. Oh, wait a minute.
R. No, it didn't go
Oh,
away.
no.
Was.
Was.
Yes.
Hurry, hurry.
Stopped.
Stop.
Oh. And went. And you don't have to do them in
Go
order.
went.
You can do them in
Wanted.
any order.
Wanted, ED.
Good, we got it.
Ooh.
Good.
What happens if we get hit by an asteroid?
Yeah, I should have let that happen. See, and also down here again in the options, you can make it easy or hard. If it's easy, it's just one at a time. If it's hard, it's bunch at a time. This is medium. Okay, so if it gets all the way down, it goes all the way down on the other side of the screen, this terrible thing happens where it shows you the answer and you have to type it in. So class, what is the past tense of look?
Looked.
Looked. How do you spell it?
Looked.
Yeah. Okay. So that might be a way that you can do drills that are just, you know, a little less drilly than regular. Okay. The other thing that I do with those same words then, like I said, I took the same one and I went down here, these mysterious things, now they make sense to me. This is how I can add this set to a folder. This is how I can edit this set, meaning correct things that might be wrong or add new words or take away words. This, I can share it with you if you want me to. This is info, which tells me what folders I have sent it to already. This is my class progress, which doesn't apply to me because nobody does it on their own. And this is customize, where I can take the game, it makes a new set, you know, just like in Google Docs or whatever, you can, or Google Slides, you can make a copy and then just change the name of it, which is very cool. But I don't really want to do that. So how do I get back? Let's make it same copy. Okay, so now I'll show you what I do for the sounds. Okay, so now you'll notice that these words are a little bit easier to read, and it's because I used bold. with these types. But thank you for suggesting I enlarge the screen. So I'm going to start with one of these. Class, I want you to say this: a cup of mustard, and then you find the word.
Cup of mustard was.
A cup of mustard,
Mustard was.
Okay.
Did it work? Yes, it worked.
Yes, we have another one. A cup of mustard.
I don't see it.
Wanted.
It's mustard for me. Wanted.
Wanted.
Cup of mustard wanted.
Oh, gee, okay.
Okay,
Hi, darling. Woohoo!
black cat. Okay,
cat
let's
had.
do people who are new to Color Vowel understand what we're doing here?
Mhm.
I would say my kids didn't understand at first, but first I taught them the terms. I just taught them the terms, also using Quizlet. I took pictures of my flashcards and had them learn the terms. And then, yeah, okay, so black cat had, wooden hook took. Now, you notice that there's two of these. The important thing when you make your flashcards, you have to make sure that these two are exactly the same. If you have a space after hook, or you have, you know, two spaces in between, then they might put the right answer and it might say it's wrong. So what I do is just like copy the wooden hook and then paste it wherever there are other wooden hook words. Does that make sense?
That's a really good tip, Liz.
Okay, so wooden hook took, wooden hook
Looked.
Stopped.
looked, yes, and what's the last one, class?
Stopped.
Olive, sock, stopped. And if you were my students, I would make you do it with your hands too. Olive, sock, stopped. Okay, so, oops, something went wrong. No, it didn't. So here I have, oops, I had the time elapsed. Now this thing pops up every once in a while, and it took me a long time to figure out how to get it to pop up on purpose. But this is like a grid version instead of a random scatter version. And this is called micro match. Sometimes it happens by itself, but if you want it to happen, you have to go up here. There's no way to do it from internally. You have to come up here to your URL, and instead of match, you're gonna say micro match. If you do that for any set of match, it will turn up like this. And this is easier for some people. Rose boat.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Might be time to edit this one. I don't know what. When,
Did it fall off the bottom maybe? I don't.
No, black cat. And wooden hook looked. Silver pin did. A cup of mustard wanted. Rose, wooden hook took. Rose boat went. Okay, so that's an error on my part. So sorry.
That's okay.
But you see that I've got a score here now, 36.2 seconds. So I, as the teacher, I make a note of that, which student got that, and then somebody else will try to do it as quick as they can.
You put the mistake in on purpose so students would notice it, right?
No, I didn't.
No,
Okay,
you
so
never admit that.
yeah. So here's another set with different vocabulary. Not every story we do, but most stories that we do, I take vocabulary out of it. This was a story about bats. So I took, you know, sleep and different and insects and bats. And especially my Chinese kids, I noticed they mispronounce a lot of these words. They don't know how to say these. So this is just like a fun way to kind of drill what they're supposed to sound like. And they've got the hang of it now. At first they were like, what are you talking about? Bats aren't black. Well, actually bats are black, but you know, fruit isn't blue or whatever. Okay, so this is the thing that Karen just did with us. And I have made that into a game too.
Some
So-
version of it. I kind of ad-libbed a little bit of it, right?
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So how do I get to the, should we practice this or should we move on?
Sure. I think we want to see how these images look. By the way, everybody, we're just on the edge of making these images much more available to especially people who have completed Color Vowel Basics online and who are trained, you know, on how to use these. So just be watching for an email in the next few days, and that'll make things easier when it comes to materials design.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody who is sort of new want to try? Now, do you have a comment? Now? Did you have your hand
Yes.
up?
Yes.
Did you have a comment?
No, 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 no.
Okay, does anybody want to try this that has never done it before?
Someone new to color vowel?
I can't see faces, so.
I can see folks. I mean, but a lot of our participants don't have video on, so it's okay. You can raise a hand if you go to comments and chat. But it's kind of,
I'll try it.
yay.
Okay.
I have no idea how to do what you're.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, you know, the only tricky thing about using phrases is there's two words here. That's great. But which one do we stress when we say that's great? Which one is a stronger stress?
Great.
Right. So we're going to be looking for the vowel, the sound of that vowel, great, a,
Oh, okay.
that matches one of these colors.
Uh-huh.
So that would be gray, day, that's great. So can you say that?
Okay, gray day.
Gray, day, that's great.
Oh, gray day, that's great.
Yep. And what about this one? What is it?
Purple shirt.
And which phrase matches that?
That's
shirt.
perfect.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so say it again. Purple,
Purple
shirt,
shirt.
that's
That's
perfect. And stress the per, right?
Oh, okay.
Wooden hook.
Wooden hook looks good.
Right,
Nice.
looks good. So we're stressing the good instead of the looks, right?
But they both are wooden.
They are both wooden.
That's
yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Black cat at last.
Black cat at last. Yeah. All these are turquoise, toy.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Silver pin, it's simple.
Simple. Yes. Great. You did great. Yay.
Yay!
Yay. Yay for the newbies. Okay. I don't know why it keeps telling me something's wrong. I'm sure there's
We
nothing
don't, yeah,
wrong.
we're not seeing a lot of that.
Okay. So, can you still see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so that exercise was all about the sound of the stressed vowel, right? I or E or A or whatever. This one is I made to do the stress pattern of words. So where do I have to make it smaller again to see my controls? Okay, so for example, ooh, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
Oh, I just want to say while Liz is resizing, I've been waiting for this all week because she's told me about how she uses Monopoly.
Oh, Monopoly,
features.
this is wonderful.
Yeah, well, I used to, I have the actual Monopoly things, and when I have people, humans in a classroom, I give them the Monopoly things. But now that we're online, I can't do that, but I figured out that I can still do it this way, and it still works.
It's brilliant.
But I have to make them smaller again. So there should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, we're missing some words.
Liz, I think that far right bottom picture you put over the top of some words.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
thank you. Okay. So, for example, let's say that I pulled this one out. Now you have to find the phrase that goes da-dun, da-dun. Like, I know. See? I know. It's not I like it. It's I know.
I know.
Maybe I should show you. Let me show you the set first.
Okay, yeah. And what's cool is thinking how we'd be just face to face before we see this moment, right? We'd go through with our hands. I know, just in that fashion, right, Liz? And then you get to see that visual.
Right. It's perfect. That's perfect. Dun, dun, dun. So that should be a house, a hotel, and a house, right? That's perfect, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Right?
Yep.
Everybody, am I like sounding like a crazy person, or does it make sense?
Yeah, I just kind of want to lead everyone, because I can see folks and your slides. I'd love to just have the satisfaction of seeing those hotels and houses and saying, that's perfect with our hands, right? So just, you know, we should be doing this so we can see the house. The hotel goes right here in the palm of our hand.
Right. Okay. So this one is, you're the best. You're the best. So it should be, you're the best.
There we go.
You're the best. You're the best. And the next one, see you around.
See you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's, done. See you around. See you around. Are people doing their hands, Karen?
Yeah, see you around. I am. I can't see
Around.
everybody.
Okay.
But
Looks good. Looks good. Dun, dun.
good.
Dun, dun.
I'll just
Okay.
reiterate that for anybody new to the room today, the reason we're using our hands is, first of all, to highlight for students where the stress is, because stress is so central to being understood, and to have a listener of English spend any effort to listen, there needs to be stress in what that person says. And so many of our students don't use enough stress and are either misunderstood or utterly ignored. So we're
Yeah.
really teaching them kind of the secret ingredient of being heard and understood in English.
Right. And not everybody, but a lot of people understand that, you know, even if they don't have monopoly in their country, but if they do have monopoly in their country, you know, they get it. A hotel is bigger and better and more expensive, and, you know, it's more important than the house is, right? So, okay, I want a newer newbie than the last person. Would anybody like to try? All I can see are Dawn and Joan and Chelsea. Do any of
We've
you
got all
guys
kinds of folks in the room.
Or you guys, all three of you could try at the same time if you want. Anybody?
Can I try?
Yes, you can. What's your name?
Natalia.
Natalia. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, so here's the pattern. Da dun dun. Which one do you think it is?
How about you?
Okay, so when I say it, I don't say how about you. I say how about you? How about
Okay.
you? I'm fine. How about you? So what's another one that it might be? Dun dun dun.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try a different one. Let's try this
Okay.
one. Let's try this
Can
one.
I try?
Dun dun. Dun dun.
That's perfect.
Okay, that's perfect. No, because that's perfect is 3 syllables. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. So I think that's this one, right? Do you agree, everybody?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. That's perfect. So Natalia, take your hand like this and go, that's perfect. That's
That's
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Okay. Now, what
Okay.
about this? We need a 2-syllable phrase. Dun dun. Dun dun.
At last.
At last.
At last.
Ah.
Good. What about this? Dun dun dun.
How about you?
Yeah. How about
Right.
you? How
I'm
about
doing
you?
that. I'm doing that with the hand. That's very helpful.
And
I can
Good.
hear you using your hand.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can
And the
hear it
other
because
thing
the
about
time.
these hotels is we make our voice go up too. We
Yeah.
make our voice change. So how about you?
How about you?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. What about this?
Come on.
Come on.
Okay,
on.
but you would say dun dun. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. And again, folks, these photos have to be
Mhm.
identical. They have to be the same JPEG. Otherwise, it'll be wrong even when it's right. Okay, come on. What about this?
Liz, when you're creating these answers, can you duplicate? Is that how you do it, or you just make sure you choose the same JPEG?
Yeah, you have to choose. You can't duplicate the answers on
Okay.
Quizlet. You can duplicate the test, but yeah, I just do like, yeah, I just cut and paste if it's text and just copy use the same JPEG if it's a picture. Okay, Natalia, what's this one? Is it I like it, or is it oh boy?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. What about this?
I like it.
Good. Yes. Great. Good. Okay. Good
That
job.
was a wonderful example. That was fantastic having Natalia do
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
That was great.
Awesome. Liz, you're incredible.
And then just to show you, I have, I have another picture of dun, 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 but I couldn't find, none of them worked. So I
Mr.
made
Lonely.
him Mr. Lonely. He doesn't have a match because it's so rarely used, so I put him in there just to show people how unusual it is. It's not impossible, but it's not very common.
I challenge our audience to come up with a phrase and type it in the chat for ba ba ba. There you go.
Okay. I also use Quizlet for my accent reduction course. We learned about, I'm going to change this so that the term comes up first. Okay, what is it called when you have a thing that you open a can with? This picture. Now, we had been studying compound words, and I had been telling people you have to stress the first syllable of most of these, right? So it's not a can opener, it's a can opener. So what's the answer here, everybody? Anybody? Everybody?
Ba ba ba.
Can opener.
Can opener.
Can opener. Okay, what is this? Yeah. Somebody unmute yourself. Chelsea, throw me a bone here and help me.
Frying pan.
Yeah, can you make your voice go up even more?
Sure. Oh, hold on. Frying pan.
Frying pan, yeah. Oops. Fry pan.
A fry pan.
A system that will make noise if someone's trying to enter your house. What is it?
Burglar alarm.
Alarm.
A burglar alarm. And just so you know, we had studied these, as part of our class, but I wanted them to practice saying them with that type of intonation because that was new to them. They didn't know that you're supposed to put more stress. The first word is the hotel. They didn't know that. So, okay, back to the demonstration. Oh my gosh, I only have 5 minutes left. Hold on. Okay. I did an idioms class that now is in, and we learned a lot of idioms. This is a great time. Whenever there's like a world crisis, there's so many idioms that pop up and everybody can relate to the situation, right? So this was a boring, this was just like booze means alcohol, safe and sound means out of danger, fill me in means inform me. These were out of the book definitions for idioms and for phrases and stuff. So I'm going to show you, though, the better one that I made with my own idioms. Okay, so we're going to do match again. Okay, and we're going to pretend that you guys were all in my idioms class. Yes, they're a little bit hard to read, but I don't want to make them bigger because I think they're going to obscure each other. Okay, so Dawn, can you, or Joan, you already have your mic off. Do you want to help me with this? And then
Sure.
Dawn, you can go next. When I came back from my business trip, do you see that?
Uh-huh.
Can you read it?
Yes. Oh, out loud? The
Yep,
house
yes.
was a mess and there was laundry and dishes piled up. I wasn't surprised though. That is what I always find. It's just par for the course.
That's right. These are all true stories too. Okay, now, do you want to do this one? And Dawn, you can go next.
Okay, the TV show had the main character get shot at the very end, but we don't know who shot him. That episode was a cliffhanger.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Dawn.
Yep, cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger, right?
He's a single
Cliffhanger.
dad and just got a lot
Cliffhanger.
more responsibilities at work. Lately, he's really been burning the candle at both ends.
Yes, good. Okay. And for those of you who are native English speakers, like you can guess the end. If you have just learned these idioms, you might have to look at your choices, but it helps you make that kind of connection, in a fairly natural way. Okay, anybody else want to try? I can't see anybody else.
I'll try it. This is
Okay.
Carrie.
Okay, go.
The heroine from the movie Love Story dies at the end in a very dramatic way. That movie makes everyone cry. It's a real tearjerker.
Yes, it is. Since I started teaching online to Chinese kids, I've been having to wake up at the
I'll do that one. Crack of dawn.
crack of dawn. Are you with me, Chelsea?
Yeah. I am.
When we had our parent visitation, a lot of teachers didn't do their usual lessons. In order to impress the parents, they brought out a dog and
Pony show.
pony show, yes. Okay, I know that we're almost finished, but I do want to show you, if you can wait just one, like maybe 2 more minutes, I want to show you one more thing. A lot of the students that I teach, unlike the Japanese students that I have taught for many years, these Chinese students are very fluent. Like, they can communicate pretty well in English, but their grammar is, they just don't have any grammar. And I know that a lot of people don't believe in teaching grammar to kids because they'll pick it up. But I am not one of those people. So this is one of my things where I took words, I made sure they knew these kind of basic vocabulary words, which for the most part they did. And I told them they had to pick the correct be verb, right? So Kendall, can you go first and take this one and say carrots? Is it is or are?
Are.
Carrots are a teacher?
Carrots are vegetables.
Yes, good. Okay, what about a dog? Is or are?
Is.
A dog
Liz,
is.
I love this.
Good.
No, really, it's brilliant. You're not just matching visually what's here. You're having to put a verb in the middle. It's brilliant.
Yeah. A dog is
Is
an
an
animal,
animal.
right? Liz is, don't say Liz is round. That is not correct, okay? Even though it is.
Liz is or Liz are?
Liz is.
Liz sounds plural. doesn't
Is
she?
what?
Liz is a teacher.
Okay, oranges.
Is
Are?
round.
All right, Karen is chomping at the bit to get in here, so I'm gonna have Karen do the next one. And this is the last one, I promise, and then we'll finish.
I'm just having so much fun.
So Karen, now this one you have to think a little bit harder even. Some
Okay.
of them are negative and some of them, well, actually these I'm giving you, but you have to think about the meaning, because for me, with pronunciation or grammar or anything, the more, you know, we learn it just learning the information, and then I want to try to pull you away towards communication.
Okay.
Okay, so Karen, can you make a sentence?
Oh, a turtle. A turtle isn't fast.
Yes.
A turtle is
lemon?
hot. A lemon is hot. Oh, okay. A lemon isn't square.
Okay, but there's a
that's the
better
truth.
one. There's a better one. Think
A
of the
lemon-
best one.
Okay, a lemon is sour. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
A lemon
Lemons.
is sour.
Lemons.
Lemons aren't red.
Lemons.
No, there are a lot of lemons here. Hey, okay, lemons are yellow. So wait, so you have lemons, so you had to just copy and paste exactly the
Yes.
word lemons 3 times
Yes.
to make sure. Okay, got it.
No, 2 times, because one of them was a lemon.
Oh,
But yeah, if you have the same term, and Quizlet will even alert you. If you put in the same term twice, it says duplicate. Are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, thanks, man. Yes, I'm sure. I appreciate you though. I just love it. I love Quizlet. It's just so like it's very helpful, but it is sort of quirky.
well,
So
Liz,
that's
I
why
think
I
we
wanted
love
to
that
share.
you've done all this work in it, because I know people are really eager to know, right? Will Liz share her Quizlets with us? That's
Heck
kind of
yeah.
the big question we all have.
I will, but what I love about Quizlet is that you can customize it to your class. What have you been teaching? What are the stories that you've been telling? What are the grammar points that your students need? So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share them. And if you have questions, please go ahead and ask. I'm happy to share my wealth.
Yeah,
But
folks,
thanks
I
for
know
coming.
some folks are going to be leaving the room. Know that we have these and many other events scheduled on our website. If you go to www.colorvowel.com, you'll find our events listed there under teachers or at the bottom of our homepage. So you can register in advance. Next week's Friday at 5, Chelsea's in the room. She'll be speaking on giving feedback, pronunciation feedback. It's a huge topic. And so watch what she's doing. She's going to share actual footage from her online tutorial sessions. Different ages, Chelsea?
Yeah, but mostly they're all young learners. So from like 5 to 14.
Okay, great. So join us for that. If you teach adults, we all know we can glean from her example, something we can apply to adults. So don't, let's come and see Chelsea in action. And then the week after that, we've got Dr. Robin Barr. She's going to put us into Zoom breakout rooms. That's the tech focus. And she's going to have some fun with us with phonology. So I spelled phonology with a PH, or I spelled fun with a PH. That's what I did in the registration form, okay? But back to Liz and questions for Liz. And Jennifer, I know you've been kind of moderating too, so jump in.
Somebody asked if I share them. Do you do this synchronously during class time? Yes, for the most part, I do. Or do you send them to students? Yeah, I said like the idioms people, I was able to share that very easily through Google Classroom. Every time you make a set, when you save it, it says, do you want to share this with anybody? And it gives you a link, or it lets you do it to Google Classroom, or it lets you put it in a folder.
The other way to do that is if you have the teacher version, you can set up a class, and then your students get free student accounts. And there are a couple ways to link you together, but basically you have those students in your class, and they have access to all of the sets that you have opened for that class.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, didn't you say that you get to see how often the students access it?
Yeah, that's the benefit of having the teacher version, and I pay for it every year because I just use it so much. And
it's what, yeah, like 30 bucks a year or something? It's not a lot.
It's for a year, and then you have to re-up, but it's yeah, it gives you a lot of analytics on who's practicing, which games they've done, how much time they've spent on them. So if accountability is important for the course that you teach, it's a really great tool for that.
And if it's not, like everything I showed you today, I don't, mostly those kids are in China. They don't have access to Quizlet or Google or Facebook or anything, basically. So that's why I developed a lot of these things to do with them as part of the class activity. And the only thing you can't do for free, like I said, is the images. I don't think you can even put your own images in. But as I said at the beginning, it's free till the end of June. So get in there and make your sets before the clock strikes midnight and you lose your golden slippers, glass slipper. Okay, somebody else had a question.
Did anybody answer Dawn's question? She was wondering how it looks, how this is working on a phone, if anybody's viewing from a phone.
Well, the match game, that's why they made the micro match. The grid instead of the random, they made that as a grid for phones because scattered on a phone screen is too small. I know that is true, but having said that, I don't think I've ever used it with students who were only on a phone. But I do know that, like, for self-study, Quizlet is great to use on a phone. Students can do the flashcard really easily on their phone. Natalia says she's on a phone. Natalia, thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's always interesting and revealing for us to have people who don't already, who haven't already drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak, see whether they can understand how we're talking and stuff.
Yeah, and I just wanted to do a little shout out as we'll take a few more questions, but I think I'm just sort of looking at names that I might recognize. We have just recently had one of our trainers, Sam Parks, do some trainings in Costa Rica. So I think Costa Rica's in the house. And if you are, we're really glad to have everybody who's here from those trainings.
Looks like Dawn has a question.
Well, while Natalia is still on, was there any, were there any challenges for you following the classroom activities and stuff working off of a phone? 90% of my students are on a phone, and I don't see it from their side. So did you have any challenges following along with Liz's activities today?
No, I didn't experience any challenge in here.
Good.
I think it also depends how old your eyes are.
I have 2 pairs of glasses for when I have to work on the.
Yeah.
And it depends what kind of phone you have too. The newer phones are bigger and the graphics are better. If you try to use, an old phone like I have, then it's pretty sad. But yeah, if you've got the phone app, that's great for individual study. In class, it would be, you really wouldn't want students on the phone app doing it themselves. You would be watching exactly the way Liz did it.
I won't lie, it's easier if you have a computer, but I can do the exercise and I can hear you very well while using my phone. So I think it's better in a computer, but there's no problem in the phone.
One thing I discovered when I was trying to do this with my class was that the ones who were on the phone had a hard time doing the match game when on Zoom, when I gave a control over to them because they couldn't get it to work. But when they do it on their own phone, I'm getting some distraction from. I'll talk about. I'll say that later.
Yeah, maybe you get distracted with WhatsApp, for example, or incoming messages if you are using other applications.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm telling you that maybe it's better in a computer.
Yeah. Carrie had a question, and if you don't mind, Carrie, you asked about pre-made activities. Quizlet is used all over the world, and many people, when they create a set, they make it public. And so you can go in and browse and use sets that other people have created. Sometimes you want to take that and maybe tweak it a little bit and save it as your own, and then you can make it private or for just your classes. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, that did. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for coming today. It's been just lovely. I think this is one of our most engaged sessions and just keeps growing. So tell your colleagues, join us next week again. Next week, Chelsea Olson's in the house, and she'll be speaking on giving pronunciation feedback. And then the following week, Dr. Robin Barr will speak on a phonology topic of her choice, really more of an activity in breakout rooms. I don't know, we're going to learn something. We're going to learn many things in both weeks, so join us. You can find those individual registrations on our website at colorvowel.com. Just find our webinars and workshops schedule, and you'll find those events there. Also, just a quick note that we start our next round of Color Vowel Basics Online, our 6-week foundational course for teachers who want to teach with the Color Vowel approach. And those start up just coming this week. We still have a few spots left. So take a look over there if you're interested. And it's just a great time to study online since we're all around computers these days. So I wish you all well, stay healthy and safe, and we'll see you again at one of our next events.
Thanks, Liz.
Okay, yeah, I put my email in the chat if you want to, email me and ask me questions once you start trying to figure it out.
And Liz, if you want to send us your presentation, and we'll make it available through Facebook.
Okay.
Thank you, Liz.
Okay,
great
good.
having you. Phenomenal.
Bye, everybody.
You.
Learned a lot.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.